This video is going to be on the range of internal human ability, and how this ties into a bunch of other stuff in my videos is that, like, anything that you work on or anything that you want to do, like let's say that you achieve maximal self-actualization and you unlock your true self and your true potential, you'll be able to do or know or experience or be these certain things. And through all that work of actualization, you will have a skill that is somebody else's background ability. Like, there will be people out there who are better than you at the thing that you've worked your whole life on. They will just be naturally better than you to a degree that they didn't even know it was something you could work on. Like, their level of just given talent, either from the culture that they grew up in or their genetics, will be what you worked your entire life for. Right? And you're that way to other people. A lot of people have, we each have these things, and it's important to know how different this range of ability is. And the way to see this, if you're kind of blind energetically, is money. Money lets you see invisible spiritual things. It tracks it. Money tracks it like dust in the air or smoke in the air. It tracks what's going on spiritually. And so, like, money reflects what's going on spiritually. Money itself is as empty of reality as a mirror is empty. So when people pursue money, they're pursuing an image. But money, if you leave things to be natural and you're not trying to do anything, then money is a reflection of all of these different social connections, like the ways that, like, just if you think about everything that a person can do, like, that's all their entire spiritual power in the world. Like, their power in the world is revealed or reflected in money. People can keep their power hidden, right? You can keep your power hidden in such a way that it's not reflected by money. But if you don't do that, then money reflects your connection. It's like your ability to, boom, can I put a house there? Can I control this section of land? Can I, all the different things you could do if you just threw down a huge chunk of change. That's somebody's actual raw power, and you can calculate it with their bank account, more or less. So look at somebody's experience of money, and you have everything from, like, a homeless dude with nothing. You have people with billions of dollars. You have people in hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars of debt, right? Some people have negative social capital that are, doing crazy things there, which you could say that when people have debt, they are enslaved by a tremendous spiritual force, right? So when you look at the United States and they go, oh, we have a $23 gazillion national debt, that is reflecting spiritual enslavement. So the entire country is enslaved. That when you have a debt, you're a slave. That's genuinely the definition of the debt. And you can sell yourself into slavery in exchange for certain things, but the debt is slavery. So you can see that with money, that the United States is essentially just a giant slave plantation, and the economy, the dollars are printed in order to tell the slaves where to go. They have to get the dollar bucks to survive. So it's the same thing as whipping. The same things that motivate slaves motivate Americans. And so that's just interesting, that reflection. But so you have zero, you have tons of power, you have debt, you have people lending, right? You have people that don't have money, but other people owe them money, right? These are all reflections of spiritual states, right? Some people could be owed money and nobody acknowledges it, right? But they are owed that money. Right? Some people think they're in debt and they're not, right? So there's all these different spiritual states that you can see reflected in money. Not precise. Some things don't show up on that radar, but a lot of it does. And so this is the same. The same spectrum is available for the thought world, So in terms of perception, in terms of being able to think, like in terms of your like neuronal or hormonal wealth, what's going on in the inside of people is the exact same as what's going on with money. And so when you walk up to somebody, if you start talking philosophy to them, or you start saying these things, certain people have an inability to comprehend or grasp certain topics, just like some people can't afford to like take certain trips or go on certain vacations. With a little bit of ingenuity and you let go of this stuff, yeah, you can go anywhere, do anything. But like when you're looking at people's ability to understand culture, politics, religion, whatever, you're looking at this spectrum that's identical to the financial spectrum. And so if you look at a culture or a community, you could have everybody in that culture or community could be intellectually impoverished. And then they're not capable of thinking, they're not capable of doing philosophy. Or you could be physiologically impoverished, so you could be physiologically rich. Like somebody that does Cirque du Soleil, somebody who's like a very high level dancer, they live without any second question in the place that like I as a student of the movement arts, right? Like dance and athleticism and swimming and all that. Like there's people that live naturally and professionally the thing that I use as my object to chase most in terms of hobbies, right? Like I don't want to make a god or an idol out of like movement, culture, or consciousness or embodiment, but it's like a hobby that I like, and it serves as a analogical proxy for like say a spiritual endeavor, right? Or real life, right? Movement is like a game, and games help hone you for real life, so you can use hobbies and activities to hone your actual quest in reality. And so we forget what, like, yeah, when you're looking at somebody, you need to know their financial status before you like ask them out to a restaurant, or, you know, pay for them to go somewhere, get them to a certain thing. You look at somebody's energetic status, and it's like, can they have the conversation? Do they have the ability to have the conversation? And in today's world, since most people are like slaves, right? When you have addictions, when you have cravings or whatever, that's intellectually, internally the same thing as debt in money. You have this like strong compulsion to do something. Like it's the same thing as when you're in debt to somebody. You'll have strong compulsions to do what you don't want to do until the debt is paid off. So people have intellectual debts where they have a strong compulsion to think particular ways, to have certain ideologies, and like this debt is the reason for people's behavior. And so people have different sort of debts. Like politicians are under all sorts of different types of debts, which is all their different addictions, their cravings. All that is like the same thing as them being in financial debt. Blackmail is tremendous, like is I don't know, that's something like being robbed, or tremendous debt, or you know, look at just use money as an analogy, as a reflection to people's different states of being. They could be in dopamine debt. They can be in like adrenaline debt. You can be well off neurochemically, right? Like let's say you just have you release tons of DMT all the time. You know, you have a trust fund. If you're able to dream at night and release a ton of DMT, you have like a trust fund generating, you know, the money, the circulatory money of like serotonin, and then the high or whatever of the dopamine. Sorry for jumping back and forth between all these different analogies, but it's a little bit like that. And yeah. tangent.